Yeah. What's going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. Welcome back to a new Poker Live podcast, live from WGTO Studios here in cold Chicago. Joining me on the podcast today, guys, is a young man who they said couldn't do it. They called this guy. They said, we ain't going to see him again, man. He's a one-hit wonder. I said, no way. I'm buying all the stock you got of this guy. I said, give me it all. I bought up about 25 million shares of stock of William Kassouf in the past 2 months. And baby, I've been rewarded, man. We're joined today by a young man known by many names, Mr. Marvelous, Mr. Like a Boss, Mr. Coconuts, Senor How Far to Hollywood. I gave him the nickname the Negotiator. And man, he's got a million nicknames, man. We're joined today by William Kassouf. Welcome back to the Poker Live podcast, man. What's going on, Will?
Yes, Joey. Thanks for inviting me, Pappy.
What's up with that sick trophy, man? Come on, man. That trophy looks too sick, man. Can you keep that there and you gonna rub it in all the haters' faces like that, Will?
This is it. Well, I went to Prague, played a small tournament, won a small trophy. That's it. I thought I'll put it here on the table for you guys to see.
For all you guys that don't know, we had Will recently on the podcast, and since that point, he's took down the last EPT high roller ever for 532,000 euro. Let me say that one more time. 532,000 euro. He satellited in. Will, did you have all yourself in that event, or did you end up selling any pieces for that, or any reaction?
I satellited in for like 1,600 euros. So I was in for the min to get the max. I actually sold 10% just to cover pretty much my my buy-in for the satellite. So I was free rolling the actual tournament at a markup. So I sold 10% of myself. I went all the way, as you know, struck a deal heads up. Sick just to get heads up, really. I like grinding the whole of day 2. Day 3, I was short stack. I had nowhere more than like 15 bigs throughout the whole of day 2 and day 3. I had between 9 and 15 bigs the whole of day 2 and 3. So it's a really tough grind. Just to get to the final table was a massive achievement for me to lock up 75k euros. I was a short stack then, only had 10 big blinds, never panicked, folded for one orbit, went down to 8 bigs, found pocket kings. Guy opened, I shoved, he calls, he's got ace jack, there's a jack on the flop, but brick, and I double up. A few hands later, I pick up aces, and then I think this is going to be almost like deja vu of the World Series main event, how I went out, but hopefully I was on the right side of variance this time. Picked up aces, raised 3-bet, 4-bet, whatever, and I gave him the speech. You want to gamble? Let's gamble the nuts. I'm all in. He snap called. He's got kings. My aces held up. I think there was an ace on the flop as well, just to lock it up. So yeah, a complete role reversal from the WSB main event, and some justice there, I think. And then never looked back then. I think when we were 5-6 handed, I think I was chip leader then. I lost a few pots, got unlucky in a few hands, but still managed to hang on. I think I was third in chips when there was 3 left. We tried to do a deal with the guy, Svensson, I think it was, Danish guy. He got on the phone to his backer, whoever he was talking to, and he said no deal. He wants to carry on. So that went against him, really, because I was happy to do a deal 3-way. I'm not greedy when it comes to money, you know, having got that far. I'm only in for 1,600 euros. But he said no deal, so we carried on. I think literally 1 or 2 hands later, I think Patrick opened, he'd shoved, or Patrick shoved on him, and he called off. And I think the Danish guy had ace jack, and Patrick had queen 7. And everyone's obviously rooting for the queen apart from him. And queen comes on the flop and holds, so Patrick knocks him out. So that was a big pot there. So I managed to ladder effectively all the way from like 9th up to 2nd. When we get to heads up, yeah, he's got a 4-1 chip lead. We discussed, do you want to discuss numbers now? Because he wasn't greedy in that respect in terms of not doing a deal. I'm not one to be greedy when it comes to money, you know, having satellite in, like I said. So we looked at numbers. We looked at ICM, or what chip chop would have been heads up, pretty much, effectively a similar situation. And we looked at numbers, effectively, what we came down to with Max Silver negotiating on his part. And I think I had Adam Owen on my side, and Teddy and a few other Brits. But I think it was Max Silver who's mainly instigating it all with the deal and what they proposed. Obviously Patrick was more interested in the money. I think I was more interested in the title and the trophy. You know, having you know, satellite in and started from the bottom to get this far was immense. And I think the title and trophy for me would be 10 times more valuable to me and more important to me than it would for Patrick. I think he conceded that as well. So we came to a deal where, you know, Patrick was more interested in the money. I wanted the title and trophy. So we came to a deal in that regard. We looked at what our value of our chip stack would be at the time. And I thought pretty much I was getting 50k more than second place, plus the title and the trophy. And this wasn't just any old title or trophy. This is like the title of the last ever EPT 10k high roller. Right. So it would be massive for me. It wasn't just for that tournament. I wasn't just thinking about that tournament. I had all the guys on my side saying it's a great deal. I had Max Silver convince me, obviously, even though he's representing Patrick, saying this will be great for my image, my personal portfolio going forward, career prospects, opportunities, sponsorship deals, endorsements, etc. That is massive for me to take this deal. I mean, I was reluctant initially. I'm sure you've seen and read.
I read the replay about it. They said they actually had to call the clock on you guys when you were making the deal.
They did. That was another thing. It's not because of me taking my time necessarily. I think it's more an issue with PokerStars because they had time constraints on their hands with regard to the licensing and playing it out in the Hilton Hotel. They had to pack up shop. It was the last ever tournament there. You could see from my Facebook live stream that there's no other tournaments taking place. All the other tables were empty. They were packing up the main feature table. So a lot of people disappointed that the high roller then wasn't televised and moved over to the feature table. I don't know why, but that's down to PokerStars. So they were in a rush to get out of there and see the tournament through, do the winners' photos, etc. So
listen, Will, you're only playing for $1 million total with those two people. Why wouldn't they be on a rush to get you the fuck out? I mean, why wouldn't they, Will? I mean, what high roller buy-in, last one. Let's not stream. Let's wrap it up. Let's get them the fuck out of here. That makes sense, right? I can understand that.
Anyway, well, they had their licensing thing. They only had their time constraints in terms of how much time they had before they had to vacate the premises. So we understood that, but they had to respect the two players that were there. If we wanted to play out, then we did. But some people were saying it's a good deal in a way because Patrick got what he wanted, I got what I wanted, and who's anyone else to say or butt in? Like it's none of their business as to what we decide to discuss a heads up or what deal we decide because it's between the two of us at the end of the day. And if that's what suited both of us, then so be it. It's a good deal on both sides. So initially, I think PokerStars, to their credit, saying no, we have to leave some money on the side to play for, plus the trophy. I think the way that Patrick and Max were trying to put it towards me is that, we can end it right here now. We can, effectively, you can take the title and the trophy, and we can take some extra equity in terms of like a bigger paycheck than the actual ICM or the chip shop value was. So that's what we kind of agreed with. I think a lot of people saying morally that was right in the respect that at least we were honest and genuine, and Max Silver wrote that blog so we could see generally what happened and exactly what was going down, rather than we pretended, okay, let's play it out, and we can effectively chip dump to each other. If we genuinely wanted me to win it and for him to take a bigger share of the money, we could effectively chip them to each other, and that would have been unethical and not right in that regard, because it wasn't on the feature table. You couldn't see the cards, you wouldn't know what was happening, and we could effectively do that. So we didn't want to do that. So at least we were open and honest in terms of the deal, what was on the table, what was agreed, and in Max Silver's blog, he pretty much sums it all up. But like he mentioned, I was reluctant to do it initially because obviously I played to win, even though I was only in for 1,600 euros from a satellite. I wanted to play it out myself to win it, by taking the advice from all the friends of my rail, taking the advice from Max, even though he was representing Patrick, and convincing me that it was a good deal for me longer term, not just this tournament, but for me to take the title and trophy and have that under my name. I think it was the logical thing to do. It was the right thing to do. Patrick got what he wanted from his camp, and I got what I wanted from my end. So that's how it played out. It's a bit unusual, obviously, because I was the center of it. It'll be more controversial. Lots of people talking about it, but I think it's a good deal overall in the grand scheme of things. So that's what it is. So I came back with the trophy. So here's the trophy right now. So the last ever 10K EPT high roller champion. So I definitely take that. So it's a great one to have.
Well, I got to ask you, man, how do you do that? How can you talk that? How do you have not the breath, man? I just want to know what kind of condition you're doing, man. I can't do it, man. It's one of the most impressive things I've seen on the podcast, man. I mean, you learned that from being like from when you did a lawyer. That was a essential trait, right?
Effectively, yeah. You got to be quick-witted. You got to think on your feet. You got to think what your opponent's gonna say, what they're saying right now, what you're gonna anticipate, what they're gonna say, and come back with them with a rapid, witty response. Effectively. So effectively, if I'm going to do an analogy between the courtroom and being on the poker table, you have to be there. You have to be witty. You have to outwit your opponent to convince the judge, in the best interest of your client, that your client's not guilty, for example. So you're doing the same thing on the poker table. You're convincing your opponent you've got the best hand. When you don't, convince them you got nothing when you got the nuts. So that's the idea of it. And by speaking to them, getting in their mind, confusing them, by talking to them quite quickly, they don't understand what I'm saying. What's he doing? What's he doing? What's he want me to do? Is he raising? Is he checking? Is he folding? Why is he really saying this? He's really got his hand. He's saying got king queen. Has he really got king queen? Why would he say he's got king queen if he's got king queen? Has he really got it? What do you want to do? Well, this is all going through my opponent's mind while I'm like nonstop relentless.
Right. Well, I want to read a tweet to you, and I want to get your thoughts on this tweet. This is a very popular tweet that was out there on the Twitter sphere. It was from one Ike Hollywood Haxton. He said, "Please, poker gods, don't let Kassouf win a tournament. A year of listening to sincere conversation about speech play might drive me to retirement. Now, I'm a big fan of Ike Hollywood-Haxton. He's one of my favorite podcast guests I got on. But I got to say, you got a choice between people doing speech play, some William Kassouf's having a good time, or you got Ike Hollywood-Haxton. Listen, man, you give me a bunch of William Kassouf's, I'm ready for some fun. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to have a good time at the table, man. What do you think about somebody like Ike? Obviously a very prominent member of the poker community. What do you think about him saying something like that about you?
Well, first of all, yeah, the phrase comes to mind: "Hate is gonna hate." Yeah, notoriety. I'm getting all this like kind of like the fans' favorite, the people's champion kind of thing, to come from the bottom and now we're here kind of thing. So to do what I did at the World Series, I think was immense, and I seem to be an inspiration to thousands of people around the world. I've got over 1,000 messages since the World Series. It's been relentless. My phone's been blowing up constantly every day. So to have that inspiration and then to go and do what I did in Prague and play like fearless, play my A game, do what I had to do, be the short stack throughout the whole of day 2 and day 3, come to the final table with 9 chips with 10 big blinds, and still to get a heads up, regardless what people think of the deal and is it right, should it play it out, etc., etc. Just to achieve that has been phenomenal. So to get people like Ike Haxton and top pros, and obviously a big name out there, to come out and say that, it just goes to show the amount of the hate that's out there in terms of the top pro. Oh, it's bad for the game. This guy is showing us up. You know, this is a 10K high roller. How can he get this far? Please, poker gods, don't let him win a tournament. I mean, what kind of comment is that? I mean, there's hating, then there's hating, right? And it just seems to be a bit bizarre from a top pro to come out saying something like that on Twitter. I think he's got slated by hundreds of people. Up to even a few thousand people in terms of his comments, and the more someone actually rightfully commented, the more the top pros actually hate on this guy and keep like mentioning evil stuff about him. I hope he doesn't win and being all negative. The more it's gonna the more love it's gonna create for him from like the recreational players coming up in the game.
Right. So there's one thing I want to make sure I got these details correct. So I've seen a lot on Twitter. I've seen a lot of the fans out there. They're showing a lot of love to you. Obviously on Facebook. I mean, your Facebook now, that's got to be one of the most entertaining Facebooks, man. The conversations that happen in the comments are great. But okay, did I see this correctly? An American guy flew. Did he take a flight to where you're at in England? You guys took a video together. You took a picture. I think you might have played some poker. Did that happen?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Mike Donald from the US, yeah. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, and he actually works for Delta Airlines. So it was kind of handy that he was actually stopping by. He's flying through London for like less than 24 hours, but he made the effort because he had these T-shirts made up with 9 high like a boss, the coconuts, Will Kassouf, with my name and face on it. He had those T-shirts made up himself, but he wanted to come and actually give them to me as a gift. I presume he had them washed and cleaned before he gave them to me. But yeah, he brought them over. He wanted to give them to me as a gift. He wanted to have a selfie, a video, etc. And he was saying like, I'm his like #1 idol, and I felt as if he was like my #1 fan with the effort that he put in, the comments he was putting in on Facebook and Twitter, and actually made the concerted effort to come and meet me in the Holiday Inn hotel where he was staying in Kensington in London. So I met him in the hotel lobby there, and he handed me the T-shirts, and we had a good chat and good catch up there. So no, it's great to see that. Great to see those kind of good people in this world who appreciate that's something that you do, and to go that far, you know, even though he does work for Delta Airlines and he was coming to London, we still made an effort to meet up. That's a time convenient for us with the limited hours that he had before we had to fly out. So it's great to see that. It's great to see that, you know.
How does that make you feel? I mean, you think about this, right? You go on the World Series, you deal with, you know, a lot of hatred from the other players at the table with you. You deal with a lot of negative comments from some popular people in the poker community. But then you got these hardcore guys like that. They're making a shirt with your fucking phrase on it. They're flying to the country you're in. They're giving you the stuff personally. They're making time to come see you. I mean, that's got to feel pretty great, man.
It is good. It is a good feeling. I feel as if like I've been rewarded for something, you know. I got rewarded for like doing so well and doing what I did at the World Series. The amount of hatred I got from the players on my table on day 7. I think up to day 7, I never had any problems with anyone on the table or nothing like that in terms of altercations or kind of like the table gang up on me or anything like that. I think it was literally on day 7, without mentioning the names because everyone's seen it now, with most of the table gang up on me, and then the way I was treated by the floor staff. Just Jack Careful and Charlie and other TDs just making bizarre rulings and made the rules up on the fly as they went along because it was me. Anyone else they would have no issue with. So it seems that they made rules up on the fly. So the way I was treated by the players, the way I was treated by the floor staff, I think a lot of people were like back in my corner in that regard and said he did nothing wrong and he was well within his right to do what he did. And it was great. It's great for poker. It's great for TV in general. So I think they're loving me because of that. And then after my recent win now in Prague, I think I've got even more fans than I did before, especially with all the top pros hating. So yeah, it shows that the love always overcomes hate in the end. Good will always triumph over evil. So hopefully this is one for the good guys. So here it is. Boom.
Question. Okay, so because I've heard this from some people, and I don't think this is actually true, but I want to ask you because you're the one that's playing. So we got a comment right now. He says, sitting next to this guy at the poker table is the worst possible experience for recreational player. Listening to his nonsense for 8 hours will make people stop playing poker. Now, I'm under the impression you probably just aren't talking 8 hours straight at the table, right? I don't think so. Maybe you are. I don't know. But I feel like do you use the speech play in a calculated method, or is it something where you're just kind of talking the entire time and maybe some people are turned off by that?
I'm not talking to the entire time. I think the speech play comes in when you're actually in a hand, when you got cards, when your opponent's got cards, when you're in a hand with someone, you're trying to convince them that you have something that you don't, and vice versa. So that's when the speech play comes in terms of like getting involved with the hand and conversing with my opponent on the table. In between hands, I'm like a sociable kind of guy, so I'm not going to sit there in silence and say nothing. I'm not going to purely put it down to speech play and only talk when I'm in a hand to try and convince my opponent one way or the other. I'm still going to make conversation with players on the table. I'm still going to like get involved. It's a social environment. This is live poker at the end of the day. People who can't take that banter and the speech play and having fun on the table and non-stop chatter, then they shouldn't play. They shouldn't play live poker. Just sit at home in the underpants and click on the mouse button and play online at home. That's my advice to them. And people who don't like the banter, generally, you put a set of headphones on. You know, it's not rocket science to block it out on that, rather than going on tilt and calling the floor and moaning and bitching and whining about it for doing nothing wrong. For a speech play and a heads up pot, what's wrong with that? You know. So some people just take it the wrong way and just go on super donkey tail. But no, the reception I've got from majority of the players that I played with, not just in the UK, but around Europe, around the US, they've loved the banter and the jokes on the table. It's great. It's good entertainment. It keeps you awake and alive for like the 8-9 hours that you're playing in a poker tournament in one day. You know, it's good jovial banter. Like I've said before, like you've seen, there's no malice in what I say or do. So I don't disrespect anyone. I don't insult anyone. I don't berate anyone at the table. I'm not that kind of guy. It's not my kind of like, it's not in me. It's not my personality to do that. I like to enjoy myself. I like to see others enjoying themselves. And if they're getting involved with the banter on the table and conversing at the table and joining in, then that's all good for me. It's all good for them. And everyone's happy all around, you know? I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Some people aren't going to like it. Some people, like they say, how you play poker depends on your personality. So if some people are quite reserved and you know, conservative in that regard, they're not going to be outspoken. They're not going to be such an extrovert. They're going to be sitting at the table in their own shell, not want to give anything away, not want to talk to anyone. They're just there to play their game and get through the day. That's it. So I respect that. That's fine. But it doesn't mean that they have to moan and bitch and call the floor just because they don't like something that's happening on the table, even though it's clearly within the rules. So
well, I noticed something. I got to ask you a question. What's that? Your chin hurt?
No, I'm just holding my chin up, man. It's been like,
your chin hurt? Are you sure? It looks like it hurts or something. You ain't moved it. You got to support you got a head injury or something?
Like I said,
Let's just watch, baby. Let me see this bad boy, man. Come on.
You'll see the rolling. You'll see the rolling.
What's up, man? Hold on. We got to get it closer, man. This looks sick. What's the deal on this watch, man? This is looking like some dope shit right there.
That's Rolex Daytona. That's it, like a boss.
Nice, man. Listen, if you don't like a boss, you need a boss watch, right?
That's it. Could have a boss watch.
What's the details on that, man? How much something like that cost you?
Well, it didn't cost me that much, actually. I think they're trading for around 20 grand on eBay right now, like secondhand, obviously. But Rolex Daytona, about 20K on eBay. I think my brother's a watch trader, so he traded them about 15,000 pounds right now. And I managed to get a good deal on it. I got it for 11.5K sterling, so can't complain.
Rolling on my wrist.
That's it. I got a good price.
Window. Top down, riding high with my girl and the trophy. Okay, I like that, Will. What's up with this car, man? I seen this new ride on Facebook, on Twitter. What's this new car all about?
Had to get it, man. The Aston Martin DB9 high like a bus. Had to get the DB9. Had to be the DB9. I don't know. And I had to upgrade for my car. I had a BMW M6. I've still got it, actually. I was going to sell it, but I might just like sort out the extra spare parts and actually do it up and keep it as my second car now. But yeah, I had to get the DB9 high like a boss. I didn't actually have to break into my WSOP winnings to actually buy that. I played a tournament up in Dusk Till Dawn in Nottingham, actually. It was just a £500 deep stack. I think there's 420 on runners. I managed to get to heads up again, laddered all the way. I was short stack, and I managed to cash £30,000.
Nice.
and in that tournament. So that was pretty good for a 500 buy-in. And I actually managed to get this Aston Martin, contrary to what people think. And I spent like 100 grand Aston Martin. No, because actually, just to give everyone a heads up, they're going actually for 35k right now in sterling on eBay and Auto Trader, what have you. It's an 05 reg, so it's like 11 years old now. So it's 05, 55 reg, 2005. I had the cash money, 130k in this tournament. A friend of mine had his own car dealership. He wanted 32k for it, pretty much trade price. I said, listen, I got 30k cash money.
The negotiator strikes again, baby.
30k, done deal. Gave him the cash money, and that was it. Drove away with Aston Martin, free-rolled it from that tournament. So
what a negotiator, man.
That's it. In for the min to get the max. You know me. I might be crazy, but not stupid. I'm not going to spend.
I got to ask you about this, Will. Now, people don't know this. You tried to give me the South Carolina shakedown before the podcast, man. You tried to give me a South Carolina shakedown. I said, Will, Will, we need you on the pod, man. You said a win. He said, I need some compensation. I said, not going to be able to do it, man. Hell, what's up with that, man? What's up with this South Carolina shakedown you trying to give your boy over here, Will? What's up with that,
shakedown, Pappy. No shakedown.
Come on, man. You trying to shake me down, man? You just won 532,000 euro, man. Come on, man. We're struggling podcast over here, man.
532,500. But hey, who's checking, right?
Man, you should be paying me. We gave you that podcast run good, man. You did like a million podcasts technically, but we're gonna take credit here, okay? We helped. We launched it, man. We're taking credit here on Poker Live Podcast.
No, Joey, you said you very rarely invite someone on a second time on your podcast.
Okay, I want to address that comment. So somebody on Twitter said, "Why would you invite Will on the podcast again?" Something like something like that. I'm like, listen, if I ever invite someone on the podcast more than one time, I like talking to them. All right, I'm not gonna invite someone on the podcast that I don't fucking like or that annoys the fuck out of me. No chance I'm gonna do it. I'm sure you guys can go look back. I've really enjoyed most of my podcasts, but the ones that I maybe didn't, those guys typically, they won't come back. So if I'm going to have Will back on, I don't know. I like him, man. I'm telling you, I like the talk. I think it's fun. I think that a lot of players out there really enjoy it. I think a lot of people don't like it too, but it's whatever, man. The fans love it. I've talked with people even around town during the World Series when they were watching it. They say, hey, do you know this guy from the England guy? The people are bullying him at the table. What do you think about that? I go, yeah, man. It's like, I don't know. Like, what do you think about the players? He goes, I like that guy. I like that he's talking. He's entertaining. He's fun. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm like I said, I bought all the stock on Table Talk me and Doug were doing. And yeah, man, I'm feeling good about my side here of things. So
that's it. I'm glad you bought that stock, Joe. I'm glad you had the faith. You kept the faith.
God, I wish that was real money though. I wish that stock was real money. I would have, man, we need like a poker. Okay, let me ask you a question. Well, who's been some of your favorite players that you've bet, that you've played with, that have showed you hospitality or been nice to you and ain't been mean to you?
Some of the top players?
Some of your favorite players, some of the favorite guys that you've been meeting in poker over these past couple months that you might not have known before.
That's a tricky one. I've got to think in terms of the top players that I played, because I haven't played many high level kind of like tournament buy-ins other than like the World Series main event and this EPT 10K high roller really. I tend to get on with everyone at the table. I think someone who's held me in high regard, I think Daniel Negreanu in terms of my speech play table talk when I had the podcast with him. So I think I had him on my side. I look up to him. If I was going to have a poker idol, I like to think I've got my own style of play, so I don't copy anyone else in terms of how I play my game. I think I've got a unique style in what I say and do at the tables. But if I'm going to look up to someone, I'll say it will be as a top pro, probably be Daniel Negreanu in terms of his the way he conducts himself around the table, his table talk, if you like, rather that like he used to say, rather than speech play. So his table talk and his presence, and he's quite chatty and amicable and quite jovial at the table. I like to think I'm the same as well. So I don't try to go out of my way to disrespect anyone or insult anyone or berate anyone in that regard. I don't think Daniel does either. So it's great in terms of what he does at the table. I think it generally, from the feedback I've got, it's great what I do on the table. Great for TV poker, great for poker in general. What I'm doing to come up through the ranks and to represent effectively more the recreational players rather than the top pros, like you mentioned with Ike Haxton hating in that regard. I think there's been a lot of backlash in that regard, and he's been slated for those kind of comments. And in terms of this is what's wrong with poker, you know, like the top pros, like putting down all the recreational players, like, oh, you're not good enough, look at this guy, and a few other comments from some of the players in the World Series main event without mentioning any names, trying to put me down and belittle me. for how far I came and the position I was in on day 7 of the main event, and even since then on Twitter. So I think going forward, it's not great if like some of these top pros are like putting down these kind of recreational players and not giving them credit for what they've achieved and what they've done in poker themselves. I think you need the recreational poker players in the game. This is what effectively drives the poker community, what keeps it going. End of the day, you need more the lower rank players, the recreational players coming up through the ranks, wanting to play the game, and wanting to see, wow, this is what I can achieve. This is what, if I really put my heart and soul into it. Keeping the poker dream alive is what some people have been telling me following my win in the EPT 10K high roller, because who would have thought that I would be playing a 10K high roller in the first place? And even if I did win a satellite, who would have thought I'd even make the final table, let alone like chop it heads up or even get to heads up? So it's great for the recreational players. Great to see it. Rather than any old other top pro to go and win the tournament, it would be same old story. Yeah, and so what? It's a 10K high roller. So and so won it. Big deal. But
I gotta say, what 10K high roller? Come on. Why are they calling this a high roller? 10K's a high roller now. I saw that. I'm like, wait, 10K high roller? That seems like it's like every weekend it feels like there's a new 10K somewhere. But we're gonna let you call it a high roller, okay? Because that's what they call it.
That's called it the high roller. The main event
we're gonna let you call it a high roller, but it's 10K. Come on, ain't high roller though. I mean, 10K. I got 25K every week at the Aria. I mean, it could, 10K. But I get it. Maybe.
What's it say on the bottom of this trophy, Joey? What's it say?
Hold on, Pop. Hold on. Put that up closer. Let me see. 10,000 euro high roller champion, EPT 13 Prague, like a boss. You got to get that extra on there, man.
There you go. High roller. What are you saying, Pappy?
Wait, say that. Say it again. How do you say high roller?
High roller. You know it.
I love how you got that photo. What do you think about that picture back there? I know we talked about this. What do you think about the photo back there, buddy?
That's a great photo. Yeah, we discussed that before we went live. What a sick photo. That's it. That's the one that sums it all up. That sums me all up from the World Series when everyone's playing uptight, everyone's really like, ooh, playing all cagey, coming up to day 7, 21 players left. And that just sums me up in terms of like how I was feeling, how I was playing, I was confident, just being myself, and that's it. And with everyone else getting uptight and being all whiny at the table and calling the floor and moaning about me speeching them heads up and a heads up bar, So yeah, that just sums it up, man. So that's just me in a nutshell, just me being me.
Well, just enjoying
the game for what it is.
So me and Doug Polk did a couple table talks. Did you see the impression that I attempted to pull off of you?
The impression you did of me?
Yeah, I tried to do one.
Yeah, I did. When you're holding the photo up as well.
Yeah, was it, how bad was it on a scale of 1? Guys in the chat, calm down. I know you guys think it's bad. I'm learning though, okay? How bad was it scale 1 to 10? 10 being it was a fucking amazing, 1 being worst impression I've ever seen in my life.
I'll give you a 6 out of 10, Joey.
Listen, man, I'll take it, baby. Thank you. That's it. I'm all for it, man. You ready for a heads up with yourself? Marvelous. I'm excited for the new year. You excited, Will, for the new year? I can't do it, man. I don't got it today. I just don't got it.
I've only got a big photo blow up one of that. That's sick.
We made a couple of these headshots for the show we did. So I got one of you with Alex Dreyfus. I made one of myself when I was in my rage days, and I got one of I got this Doug one right here too. Mr. Bazam, what's up, Will? Welcome. Hey,
that's good. I like that.
We got a couple of these ones, man. So guys in the chat, we got a lot of people out there in the chat today on Twitch, on YouTube. Much love. Thank you for tuning in live. This week earlier, we had on Dan Smith, and him and Doug Polk got into a little cross-booking match during the podcast. Tomorrow, I'm going to have on a man named Randy Bloomer. Randy is the creator. I don't know if he's the creator. He founded the first ever real money poker site in 1998. He's got some crazy stories. He knows all about the poker world, poker industry, online poker, and he's a big reason why a lot of people are playing poker professionally today. So I'm excited to have him on the podcast tomorrow afternoon. Over the next couple weeks, we're also going to be having Kevin Martin, from Twitch, and sponsored by PokerStars. Recently had a big score. One of my favorite guys in poker, and have him on the pod. And we're going to have Kate Hall on the podcast too. So, Will, have you seen this whole Twitter beef? The Twitter beef between the Kate Hall and recent podcast guest Mike Dentali? Have you seen those two kind of beefing? What do you think about their speech play?
I saw a bit about it. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I didn't read all the details about it. I stay away from other people's drama, so to speak, and stay out of it. I think there's enough on my plate in terms of what I do and everything I'm involved in. So I'm happy to let people like comment and tweet about me and do their own thing, but I'm not going to get involved in other people's business and stick my oar in. You know, I feel as if it's not my place. It's nothing to do with me. I wasn't involved. If it was something I was involved in or something that I felt strongly about, or I can get involved in myself, and it's necessary for me to comment, then I would. But if it's something that nothing to do with me, I wouldn't like stick my oar in just to you know, have a go and take one side over the other or anything like that.
But you see some of the words they're using in their speech play, because they're using they got a different strategy than you got, Will, when they say things to each other.
Right, go ahead, give me an example, because I haven't read into detail into all of it.
I will own you, bitch, bitch, bitch.
Marvelous. Is that the state of the speech play? That's it.
I'm serious. I think that's one of the tweets. You're a crackhead. I think that's one of them too. I don't know. There's some like out of line stuff happening with that, man. I feel like that speech play makes your speech play look very innocent.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that speech play. I think that's just pure, just hurling insults at each other rather than speech play.
I think it's speech play. I don't know. They're playing heads up. They're like a heads up battle. Wait, did you see somebody actually offered you a heads up challenge, I believe, but you don't play much heads up, right, Will?
I don't really play heads up, no.
Yeah, I think it was Brian Hastings said something about he would give you some odds and a heads up match or something like that. But I don't think you probably haven't really played any heads up before if you're mainly just played live.
Yeah, played live, full ring game, playing live. Yeah, MTTs. That's it.
Yeah. Are you planning to get any online here with you know, we got Scoop coming up here in a couple months. Maybe it's a good time for you to play some online. I mean, the speech play can't work necessarily, but it still might be something you might be interested in doing. Possibly,
yeah. Something I have to look forward to in 2017 when I start doing Twitch myself. A lot of people have been.
Whoa! What do you? Wait, back up. What do you mean? Your new Twitch?
I don't know. Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? We'll see.
You're negotiating something. I can tell.
We're negotiating. That's it. It's good to talk, isn't it? So we'll see. Maybe it might be something in the pipeline, but I can't promise anything right now.
Yeah. You got any poker trips here planned up? We got Poker Stars Caribbean Adventure happening here. Aussie Millions. I know we got something in the Manila Million. I don't fucking know what that one is, but what do you got planned here coming up?
It's pretty sick. There's so much going on in January. I still don't even know, to be honest. There's so much going on in January and February. I'm wanted here and in quite a few tournaments here in the UK. There's so many other tournaments I could play abroad as well. There's like the PCA, like you mentioned, Bahamas. They've got that's the first PokerStars Championship event. And there's also the PokerStar Festival event in London, 22nd, 29th of January in the Hippodrome in London. But that kind of like clashes with the Aussie Millions as well in Melbourne, the Crown Casino. So I kind of wanted to go there, but if I did go to Australia, I want to take at least like a month out. I don't just want to go to the other side of the world, 26-hour journey just to play one tournament or play the main event and come home. So I definitely want to see Australia. I'd want to travel around New Zealand, the North and South Island, which I've heard is like really, really beautiful and different in their own rights. And while I'm that part of the world, definitely, yeah, travel Australia, New Zealand, even up to Japan. So I need to take like a month or 2 out, which I don't know if I can. And then following the tail end of that, there's like the GUKBT in London, the Grosvenor UK Poker Tour in the beginning of February. Then you've also got the 888 Poker Tournament and Festival in Rozvadov in the Czech Republic. So that's another big festival there, and a few big names getting down for that. So yeah, we'll see. There's so much going on, so much that I could be sponsored for as well. So that might determine which events I play and don't play, depending on which ones I get sponsored for. So yeah, so that's all in the pipeline now and in discussions right now. So I'll know in the next like week or so where I'm heading, which tournament I'm going to be playing, and where I'm traveling to. So yeah, we'll see.
So right now, you mentioned obviously now you're getting a lot of opportunities, a lot of people hitting you up, want you to come here, want you to come there, make an appearance. Are you your own agent? I mean, obviously we call you're the negotiator. So are you your own agent in this situation, or do you have somebody that's helping you out with it? Is your girlfriend kind of helping you out with things like that? Because I mean, I'm sure it's a lot to keep in track and keep in line and organize.
It is a lot. And no, I'm doing it mostly myself. My phone's been blowing up nonstop ever since Prague and that win. So I had over 1,000 messages on my phone. It was bad enough on the World Series. I've only just caught up with some messages from literally when they finished airing the ESPN coverage from October. I've only literally just caught up with a majority of them now. I'm still going through them. And then now I'm still going through all the messages from all the fans and other people who give me compliments and stuff from the win from Prague. So yeah, it's been relentless on my phone, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, text messages, phone calls, emails from potential sponsors and that, and wanting me to come here and there and inviting me here, putting me into this event and that. So I can't give the details right now because it's still confidential in terms of what's agreed and what's to be agreed. But yeah, lots of things in the pipeline. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Are you still there?
I'm still here, man. Yeah, the screen go dark a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened from if it's my end or your end. I'm still going.
We still see you, man. We still see the trophy.
Yeah, can you still hear me? Can you see?
Yeah,
can you
yeah, we can still see you and hear you, yeah.
Okay, seems to have frozen from my end for some reason.
But
But
we're live, guys. Sometimes things happen there. Sometimes things happen. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tim in the chat. Got that Draco, man. You got that Draco over there? And Will, you got Dracos in England? Wait, maybe frozen now. He might have got that Draco put on him. Will's frozen. Time to give some shout outs to the chat. Who we got out there? I see a lot of people. I see a lot of familiar faces. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My buddy Gus in the chat. What up, Gus? Waluski, Adam Day. I saw my girl Drea in the chat. What's up, Drea? What's going on? Howard Short says, anyone know when the Limitless pod is? Limitless podcast should be sometime next week. Limitless, currently a high-stakes no limit home cash game player on PokerStars. He'll be there. James Lee. Who else we got? George Keel. My buddy Nasty Nate from Cincinnati. What up, Nasty Nate? M. Burnsy, Hootie K. We got that Draco, D. Bwanza, E. Prom 999. Neil B. Keelan Curtis. Tariq Saman. Meeks 1611. What up, Meeks? Dronet. What up, Dronet? One Matthew J. Puppy. Who else we got? Simo. Tam Fam. Will, you back? He's trying to pop in. I see him.
Joey, you there?
What's up, Puppy? You back?
You see me?
We can hear you. We can kind of.
Right.
Yeah. What's up? Welcome back, Will.
Marvelous. I don't know what happened there. Technical hitch.
Listen, man, it happens when you're live sometimes. That's how things happen. You just got to roll with them, man. You got to roll with them sometimes, man. You want to give any shout outs to anybody out there, Will? Anyone that comes to mind?
Shout out to all the fans in general, all around the world that have been supporting me throughout, especially since the World Series and then since my win in EBT Prague. The response I've got and the love has been phenomenal. I thought I wanted to shout out, first of all, hold this trophy up because I didn't get to do it because unfortunately the high roller wasn't televised at the time. I'd like to lift this trophy up. First of all, I'd like to thank all the haters for hating. After all, haters going to hate. Without all the haters, it wouldn't give me the drive, the ambition, the perseverance, the determination to go on and succeed and be more successful and win titles and trophies. Hopefully this is the first of many. So thank the haters for hating. Keep the hate up. But more importantly, I'd like to thank all those who are lovers and supporters of our game, those who have followed me through thick and thin, followed me from the bottom to reach where I have now. Hopefully, this is the first of many, like I said, and we're going to achieve big and greater things. This ain't the first and last time you're here from Will Kassouf, and I'm glad you had faith in me, Joey, to buy all the stock. Unfortunately, it wasn't in real money. But yeah, hopefully big things to come in 2017. Like to see that I'm an inspiration for 100,000 people around the world. Yeah, it's been immense. The amount of coverage and publicity I've got, the amount of love and support I've got from all the fans, it's been immense. I'd like to thank my girlfriend as well, Simone Powell, who's here with me, has been my rock, who's supported me through thick and thin from the start, even before the World Series, before when I was playing the UK circuit. All my friends in the UK, people in my WhatsApp group that I speak to all the time. And yeah, so many names to mention, but yeah, I got to thank all of them for supporting me through from where I started to where I am now, and hopefully, yeah, bigger and better things to come 2017, and yeah, World Series poker main event 2017. Look out, yeah, I'm coming back, so don't worry, there's gonna be fireworks. Booyah!
Well, so you know the GPL, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I talked about the idea, maybe way to improve the GPL. I don't know if this is going to be possible now. I think your price range might be a little too high. But I talked about maybe getting William Kassouf involved, maybe as a commentator, but now maybe as a player potentially, man. Has that been something that might be in the works for season 2 of GPL?
Yeah, why not? I think everything's on the table now. Anything's a possibility. Anything and everything's an option. So let's see what people come up with, what the sponsors, what the poker companies want to come forward with. I'm open all ears to every kind of like potential offer. I'm happy to negotiate any kind of deal. You know me, I'm not one to back down any kind of deal, any kind of talk that can go ahead. So if something good can come from this, if I can get some good sponsorship deals or just be invited to tournaments or be sponsored for certain events, be put into like GPI events or whatever around the world, then yeah, then that's all well and good. So I think it'd be great for the fans, great for poker in general, and yeah, bring it. Let's see what happens.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. Let me get a couple more. I want to give a couple more shout outs. We got some guys on chat who want to show them some love. Tommy Salami here from California, I believe, or Canada. What's up, buddy? I saw my buddy Pete from High Stakes Database. What's up, Pete? Much love. Kristen out there from PokerStars. What's up, Kristen? Hope things are going well with you. Salvador Tremont. Greetings from Venezuela. Much love. Simones. Love you guys. No homo. Much love. Simones. Vaticunis. Huda Ali. I don't know how to say that name, bro. That's something like a tongue twister, man. BG Kirby. What up from Austin? What's up, Poppy? Much love, man. Much love to the chat, man. We got a lot of people out here, man. Gus Pieces, I like this guy grabbing all the checks. Listen, man. Will, can you give us some tips on negotiating? Because I learned from talking with my buddy Dave Tuckman on a podcast. He said everything is negotiable, and I feel like I'm not a strong negotiator, man. I'm just like I don't know. I don't go for the throat. Give me some tips on what I can do better to negotiate.
Well, I don't know if I want to give you any tips specifically in terms of negotiating, but the general thumb is if you don't ask, you don't get. So if you want something, you've got to go out there, grab it with both arms, and just go for it. If you want something, go out there and get it. It's not just going to come out there and be handed to you on a silver platter. So go out there, fight for your corner, fight for what you think is right, stand up for your rights, just play your game your way. Just play your game. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Just be comfortable in whatever you say and do. Conduct yourself in an appropriate manner, and just do what you think is best for yourself and the overall outcome.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. I mean, I don't know if this guy's actually from Kosovo. Darden Ikus, say love for Kosovo. There's no way you're from Kosovo, man. I need to see your receipt. Send it to me and Will on Twitter, at Joe Ingram1, at William Kassouf. Show me that you live in Kosovo. I need to just see the receipt, man. When you sense the seat, you shall ask for the receipt. My buddy Big D out there, Dan Yager. What's up, Big D, puppy? Greg Churchworth, what up from Newcastle? Way to go, Will. I love it, man. I love it. We got, I don't know. We got all sorts of countries in there. What's kind of some of the crazier stories? I've seen some NBA players tweeting at you. I've seen some like YouTube people tweeting at you, and some music people. I've seen some crazy names sending you some tweets and showing you some love on Twitter, man.
It's been sick. Yeah, it's been phenomenal. Some random, A-listers or all different kind of celebs have been like tweeting about me. Yeah, musicians and like Hollywood actors, etc. I've been putting in a tweet with the real Donald Trump recently in terms of the two greatest things to happen in 2016 is Donald Trump and William Kassouf. I think someone said that they both had the coconuts or something like that, and they made all the uptight MFers, if you like, come out of their shell and make them look uncomfortable. So I think I was being put in a good light and having compliments given to me with that regard.
Who are some of the people I saw? I think like Andrew Bogut. He's on the Warriors, and now he's on Dallas Mavericks in the NBA from Australia. I think I saw another Australian guy too. One of those, I don't know. There's kids' last name, but I think they do some sort of YouTube kind of stuff. What people stand out in terms of that kind of you noticed?
Just generally, just like complimenting me what I do, and fair play, kudos to you. So many people have like been tweeting, some that don't even play poker, and said you've made it so entertaining that you got me into poker. I love watching it. I want to get into it. I want to start playing. I want to do what you do. So it's great to have these kind of like messages of support and see that I'm inspiration for people that don't even play the game, to say this is great. I mean, even when there was something on the US TV, like the Sports Center, they're saying this could be bigger than NFL, like the big hand that I had against Griffin Benja, and the big man that went on the Sports Center, and they were arguing like this. If this is what poker was like on a day-to-day basis, if this what happened, poker could be potentially bigger than NFL just from that one clip that they saw between Benja and I and the big blobs. And it's like more than just a poker hand. It's more than just a cooler. In terms of the ace versus king hand, that's one thing in terms of the poker hands and what happened. But they discuss it in more detail, more depth. It's a clash of personalities, if you like, and this is what they want to see. This is what like the NFL is all about, and getting rucks and having arguments and getting into fights, and a clash of personalities on the field or on the pitch or on the stage or on the table, however you like it. So this is what they like. We're trying to like do a correlation between like the NFL and poker, if you like, because of that hand again with me and Benja. So it's good that it's got the whole world talking about it. Even people who aren't in poker are talking about it. So like Danny Negreanu said, whether you like him or you don't like him, you notice him. So everyone is talking about it. So the fact that everyone's talking about it, it inspires conversation. It gets people going, gets people talking. And if it's in the forefront of everyone's lips, then it's good for the game in general, if people are talking about it. So I think generally it's great in terms of going forward for the recreational players to come up through the ranks, because that's what poker needs for the game to keep going. it's no good that the money stays in the higher circles with the top pros, and the top pros keep winning everything. So I think it's good for the game in general that recreational players see this as an inspiration, like the poker dream is still alive, that it can still happen, that I'm living proof that it's happening right now. So to inspire a whole generational, like the younger up and coming like recreational player is fantastic, and for me that's massive. So I take that on board and fully appreciate all the love and support I've got from everyone around the world, really. So yeah, it's been phenomenal.
I definitely agree, man. I think, obviously, like I've been playing poker a long time, and, on one hand, if I see a player and they get recognition, and then because they're on ESPN during the main event, because they go deep in that, and then they win a tournament, like I think some people see that and they say, well, what's this guy really done? Anyone can win a tournament, sort of thing like that. But I really do think that the impact that it's had from just recreational players out there, like you said, I think it's really big, and I think it's something that we really haven't seen in poker. The stories have gone away, the characters have gone away. Characters you love or you hate, really. It's not like love or hate, whatever. It's just characters in general. They've gone away. The stories have gone away. I think you look at something like the GPL. There hasn't really been much emphasis on the players, on the stories. I don't know what the fuck they're really emphasizing, to be honest with you. But I got hope for season 2. I got a lot of hope for in general. And I think it's just, I don't know, man. I like seeing it. I hope that we get some more people that, I don't really know how, though, because a lot of the louder people typically aren't necessarily the best players. The people that are acting a fucking fool or acting crazy, those guys aren't usually very good at the game. So it's kind of unfortunate you don't necessarily see those guys. And the guys you see are the guys who are, the quiet guys who are on the computer a lot, working on numbers, putting in hours, putting in hands. So it's kind of like this weird thing where, poker has gotten a little bit harder, especially online. So you see a certain type of person that has success, but, hopefully we make people realize, like, hey, you see Key Win, playing pretty crazy, playing pretty aggressive. You got speech play going on. It's like you can still have success in poker tournaments with a different style these days.
That's it, exactly. So I think what people like more about my success is like, he's not just a motor mouth, he's not just like a noisy guy at the table who just does it for fun and entertainment but can't get the results. And I'm not one of these top pros who says nothing, does nothing at the table, plays their A game, game theory and maths and all that, and pot odds, and end up going win a title like Dan Coleman. Fair dues to him, and a big respect for those kind of players who say nothing, don't want to give any press or any kind of like interviews, that do their own thing and it's complete silence and win trophies. So I think what people like more about me and my success story, like coming from the bottom and satelliting in for everything, in for the minimum to get the maximum, etc., is I'm like living proof for them that not only can I enjoy myself and conduct myself well on the table and have banter, be this noisy, loud individual at the table and have fun at the table, but also to like come home with a trophy, win a whole tournament, and not just any old tournament, like a 10K whole roll. I'm not trying to pick myself up, but to satellite into like a big tournament like that and come home with a major trophy, it just like inspires like thousands of people that it can be done. You can enjoy yourself at the table. You can do what he does. I mean, no one's going to be as extreme as I am. I think a lot of people look up to me in terms of what I do. I think very few people can actually copy what I say and do at the table.
I don't think so.
of my style of play. So yeah, I'd love to see more of it. But the bottom line is, yeah, I'm living proof that I've been there, I've done it, I've proved it to myself, proved it to everyone around the world. I wasn't a one-hit wonder. I think a lot of people look up to me because of that and what I've achieved, because of the way I play, the manner in which I play. Might be seen as controversial, unorthodox, or what have you, and hundreds, dozens of names that you can put to it and how to describe it. But end of the day, to do all that and have all that banter and everything and have fun at the table and still come home with a major trophy like this and win a tournament, even if we chopped their heads up, to come home with a title or trophy and a major tournament like that, that's what people like look up to and see, well, that's inspiring. Like, we've had the moneymaker effect. So many people have messaged me and said, we've had the moneymaker effect. This could be like the Kassouf effect kind of thing. That the living proof that the poker dream is still alive, I
think that's important. The poker dream still is alive, because especially with some of the guests I've had on over these past few months, I think a lot of people are pretty doom and gloom. And this is kind of maybe more towards online poker as well, too. But I feel like the poker dream is still alive, and it's still possible to make a living and have a lifestyle from poker, online poker, from live poker, from tournaments. And from the tournament world, obviously you're going to have to run good. You're going to have those big scores. But people do have the biggest. I mean, it's possible, right? It's still possible to have. So I really like seeing. I'm actually going to have a guy on, I think it'll be next week, a guy who goes by the name Limitless on PokerStars. He plays 25-50, I think some 5100 no limit. And he started he's Belarus. He lives in Poland. He started in 2014 online. He made it to the highest stakes at Nolan Hold'em in 2 years. And people say that can't be done as well. And I'm like, I'm talking with him. He's telling me about his story. He used to be a professional sports athlete, and now he went to play poker. And I'm just like, man, this is like a great story because, and sure, not everybody's going to do that. Like you're going to be an outlier if you do that. But at the same time, it's still possible. And I don't know, man. I love the stories because that's the reason I got started. I always had a dream. I just wanted to do something in poker. I wanted to make it to the high stakes, have the name in lights over there with the red name. And, you know, I feel like, you know, people kind of still need those inspirations and those dreams when it comes to poker.
That's it. You got to live for the moment, live your dreams, basically. That's it.
I wish, I would say your girlfriend's there, right? Shout out to your girlfriend.
That's it. Yeah, Simone's here. Shout out to Simone in the background.
She literally, right? I don't know if I was going to say, have there any groupies or anything like that? I want to get out of line. Of course, you haven't talked to any girls, right? They know, is there poker groupies you've been meeting? Will, I don't know if these exist in the tournament world, but.
Poker groupies?
Yeah, you been meeting any of these?
I've got a WhatsApp group with a whole load of poker guys, but that's about it in terms of the poker groupies.
Okay, so no poker groupies for you, right?
Not in the sense that you're probably thinking, Joey.
I'm just saying, man. I don't like. Listen, all I know is that sometimes I get some messages. Will sometimes the messages say some things in the messages. Well, I don't know, but I think it's just because I from poker. I mean, some poker groupies, they hit you up. Maybe they like you. Maybe they want to hang out. Maybe they want to get a steak, and they know you got a 532,500 euro upswing recently. Maybe they hit you up trying to get in touch. No, nothing like that.
I've had a few like that. If that's what you mean in terms of those kind of messages, yeah, individual messages like that. Yeah, I have received a few of those. And people ask me for advice, congratulating me on my win and how far I've come and what I've achieved, etc., and what kind of advice can I give them?
What kind of advice would you give them?
I have to like give you the spiel. The spiel I gave to them.
Well, what would the advice be? So I'm sure people are listening right now saying, hey, you know, they want some advice. They want to know how they can become, you know, how they can achieve their poker dream that they have, or I'm sure they have these questions. Well,
they're like hinting to me they're fairly recreational players just getting into the game, that they have limited bankroll. So my advice to them really would be like play within your means, learn from your mistakes, improve your game, and the results will follow. Just plug the leaks in your game, just see where you're going wrong, and just improve, and hopefully the results will come. That's it. Just play your game, have your own style of playing. Don't try and mirror or copy on anyone else's style that you see on TV or you see or read on reports. Just develop your own style of playing. Be comfortable in your own game. Improve your game. Plug your weaknesses, and hopefully the results will come. That's the general advice I give to most poker players. So people take them on board and say they're really appreciative of that, and it makes sense, and it's sound advice. So.
Is there any areas of your game right now you're focusing on working at, trying to get better at?
I'm always improving all the time. I think every poker player is always learning, no matter what level you're playing at, whether recreational or pro. You're always learning at every level. So yeah, I think I've done well in terms of my game and how I go about my game and what I do and what I say and do on the poker table. So I'll continue to do what I do. Hopefully come up with some more new material, especially for the World Series next year. I think with all the hype and all the coverage, publicity, I'm sure the camera crew will be there. I'm sure they want to hear and see more of a few more lines from me, other than just the coconuts and 9 high like a boss.
All right. Let's hit the lab right now. Let's get to work. Hold on. What can we come up with here? All right, let's try to create one right now, Will. Okay, let's see. What can we do? What ideas you got in mind? Let's brainstorm.
I haven't thought of anything right now, Joe. We have to think for 2017. We're still in 2016, so I'm not letting you know.
Can't we wait? We're trying to brainstorm right now. All right, I'm pick a letter. G. Do we got a G?
You got a G?
What's like we need a power word, like Gaza. What about like ship to Gaza? We're brainstorming right now. Gaza, no, Gaza, Giza, Goza. What about a play on one of the words you have, like boss? Maybe you
use an actual word that actually is in the English dictionary. It's like gazumped.
Is that a word? Gazumped?
Gazumped, yeah.
Gazumped.
It's to do with buying and selling houses, when one buyer basically puts in a better offer at the last minute than someone else, and effectively buys out somebody else to buy a property. So you say so the other person got gazumped.
That's some next level shit right there. Fuck, man. I don't know.
But that's an actual word. I need to come up with a new word that like kind of like
a professional dictionary over there, kid? What's happening here? Jesus Christ, man. Go up. Ship the go up. Ship the guap. Okay, ship the guap. I like that one. Okay. Okay. You don't have nothing. Come on, man. We're trying to brainstorm here, man. Come on. Wait, Will might have froze. No, he's not frozen.
I'm still there, yeah.
Oh, he's silent. He's got nothing. I like this.
I'm not giving anything away till next year, man. That's it. 2017 is the one. We're still in 2016 right now. You
got any shirts made with any? You got clothing line out there? I know you had the website before. Is there the clothing? You capitalizing on these words? I
should be. I've just got the website for now. Uploading everything on there. All my videos and podcasts, everything is on there, so for people to look at. I mean, I'm maxed out on my Facebook right now. If people want to add me on Facebook, they haven't. I had so many message requests. People say, I've tried to add you, but I can't. Can you add me? So when they send me a message and I see them as genuine fans, they're big fans of my game, and they can't add me, then I've gone onto their private profile and added them on Facebook. So I think that's the best way. If anyone does want to add me on Facebook, just send me a message and say who you are and whatever. And yeah, I'll be happy to add you on Facebook in that regard. But for the t-shirts, I've had so many people like around the world, not just in the UK, printing their own t-shirts, coming out with their own, pretty much my sayings, like the coconuts 9 high like a boss, doing different designs, and having Will Kassouf all over their t-shirts and hoodies, and designing it themselves and doing it themselves. So I'm all for that. I love the fact that they're doing that. Shows the love and support that they have for my phrases and my game and what I do. So I let them get on with it. I've been speaking to via my agent with their legal team to try and get a trademark on like 9 high like a boss, for example. Looked into that, and the cost of it will cost like over 10 grand to get it registered around the world. It's not just the cost issue, but even if I did get it registered, I think if I'm going to be open and honest about it, and I had the 9 high like a boss registered in my name, and I legally own the intellectual property rights to it, I would then potentially have to sue every Tom, Dick, and Harry around the world who would then still go on to print the merchandise with 9 high like a boss or the coconuts, Will Kassouf on their mugs, t-shirts, baseball caps, whatever. I'd have to potentially sue them like all around the world. So I don't want to have that kind of hassle and aggravation, even if I had it registered in my name. I'm more focusing on my game, my poker career, getting more results, being in for the mint to get the max, satelliting into all the big tournaments, getting another big score, winning more trophies, going deep in tournaments. I think that's what I want to focus on more rather than the merchandise kind of thing. I think so many people around the world are doing their own merchandising on the back of my catchphrases with 9 high like a boss and the coconuts. I let them get on with it. I'm loving every one of them. They send me photos all the time and pictures, and it's great that people actually have them and buying them and wearing them, husbands and wives wearing their t-shirts that are identical with 9 high like a boss in it. So yeah, it's fantastic. I'll let everyone get on with it. I'm not going to have sour grapes about it. Oh, they're using my material, they're using my catcher, I'm going to sue them left, right, and center. End of the day, it's all done in good spirits. They're doing it because they love what I do. They love the phrases themselves. They're using it in their poker every day when they go play on the poker table. So they look up to me in that regard, in terms of like that was my catchphrase. They're happy, they're proud to wear those kind of t-shirts, even if it's not their own saying, because it's something big. It's something that's coming in the World Series. It was something that was on ESPN for the whole world to see, and it's gone like wildfire around the world. Like the whole world's got onto it. So yeah, it's been phenomenal. So I'm all for that. I let everyone get on with it. So it's great. I'll see in the future if I have the time to start my own line of merchandising and start selling via my own website, etc. I'll have to speak to my agent about that. But right now, I'm focusing more on my own kind of like poker playing, my own kind of tournaments, trying to get sponsorship deals here and there for certain events. And yeah, just going with the flow, really, see how it goes. But like I said, yeah, more important for me is to continue with my poker and try and get more and more results.
Wait, you got an agent now?
I got an agent, yeah, who's speaking to one or two of the bigger companies, so to speak, without giving any names away, to get me a kind of deal. So yeah, we'll see what's in the pipeline in the next few months. So we'll see what happens.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what happens, man. We got a little flirtatious happening in the chat right now. Will, you're bringing out the love from people in the chat, Will.
What are they saying, Joe? What are they saying? Talk to me.
Listen, man. Drea's getting excited in the chat. She's hearing rap music. She heard a rap phrase. She got turned down. I don't know. Well, man, you bring it out of the women, man. You bring it out of the women are getting all hot. We don't have many women. I got to be honest. Our audience, 2%, 3% women. Shout out to 3% women that watch this. But yeah, man, when they come out, they get excited. They get pumped up, man. Sean says incoming PokerStars Live Pro.
Possibly. Definitely maybe. I'll say that. Definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe.
That's it.
Well, would you be happy with supporting a site like PokerStars? Even kind of, you mentioned you're a man of the people, but they're trying to fuck the people. Will you gonna be supporting that and be a team PokerStars for the money? You gonna take the money? You gonna say fuck the people too?
No. It's not all about the money for me. You know that, as you can see from the draw, it's not about the money for me. I think it's more about enjoying the game for what it is. I don't just play for the money. The money is nice, obviously, when you go deep in a tournament. But I play to win. I play, you know, just to enjoy myself, go as deep as I can, to try and win the tournament. End of the day, it's a competition. So to outlast everyone in the whole field and to win that tournament, that's the sense of achievement you get. And that's why I play the game, and I love the game. At whatever level. I still play like £100 tournaments, 1K tournaments, 5K, and satellite into 10K high rollers. And 10K main events. So I'll play all the stakes.
Well, it was one 10K high roller. Well, come on, one of them. You can't say you satellite into. It's one. You got come on. You got to satellite into another one. Then you can start talking about being the satellite man.
That's what I have done. I satellite in.
That could be it. The satellite man.
I did. I'm known as a satellite king in the UK. I think last year I satellited into like 12 out of 14 main event and high roller events, including the 10K in London. In EPT London, when it was like 2-3 years back, I satellited into the 10K high roller there. I think I did once in the 10K in Barcelona as well. So yeah, I'm notorious for like binking seats in satellites. Majority for main events rather than high rollers, because I've not played many high rollers literally. So it's only like London, Barcelona, and now Prague. But majority have been main events, like 1K, 2K, 5K main events. I've won seats into majority of them over the years. So yeah, I seem to have a good track record in doing that and keeping up with my own kind of like philosophy, my own little phrase saying, you know, in for the min to get the max. That's me all over. So I proved it in this tournament, in for €1,600 in the 10K high roller, and managed to win 532,500.
For the min.
There you go.
Out for the max.
In for the min to get the max, I say, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say out for the max a very small portion of the time, because obviously you're not going to get the max a lot of times. So for the min.
To get the max.
To get the max.
That's it. And that's what I did. I proved it in Prague and did exactly that.
Wait a sec, Will. How much do you buy in for at the cash game tables? And don't lie.
I usually sit down with 100 bigs in any game. So if I'm sitting in 1-2 hold'em, I'll sit with 200 quid. If I sit in 1-3, I sit with 300. I can always reload like more if it's a good game, if I get unlucky in one hand. But I generally sit quite shallow just to get a feel of the table. I don't sit with a massive stack. Like I said, with my motto, in for the min to get the max. So I've done well to like play. I think I play more conservative, more tight when I got a shorter stack. I seem to do well with a shorter stack in a tournament as well. So I seem to do that in cash games, especially when you're playing for cash money. Why would I sit with like the maximum to win the minimum when I can sit with the minimum to get the maximum by spinning up? And if I am to get stacked, I'm going to lose the minimum by having a smaller buy-in than losing the maximum by sitting with a bigger buy-in. I mean, there's pros and cons for it from both. Obviously, people say, oh, but if you sit with a bigger stack and you get involved in a cooler and you're on the right side of a cooler, you can win a massive pot right there and then. I understand that. But if you're going to use my philosophy and be in for the min to get the max, you're risking the minimum to gain the maximum, if you like. You may not gain the maximum in terms of winning a massive pot had you sat with like 500 quid compared to 200 and had a big double up there. But still, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose the minimum, and if I'm going to spin up, I'm going to spin up, and I'm laughing anyway. So I just
want to make sure that you're not advocating people short stack. Will, I got it. I can't take. You're not advocating people short stack, correct?
Everyone's got their own style of playing. Everyone's got their own. The background stuff.
You're not advocating people short stack, correct?
No, I'm not. I'm not, Joe.
Thank you.
I'm just advocating my own kind of philosophy. In for the min to get the max. That's it. Okay. So I've got to be true to my word. So I've got to believe.
When Will says in for the min, he's saying in for 100 big blinds minimum. He's not saying short stack, guys. That you're listening to that. In for the min, out to get the max. Buy in for 100 big blinds. That's what he's saying to you, man.
Like a boss.
We got a question for you from William Blaze. Can we see? Oh no, I thought he wants to see my impression. No, okay. Can we see the Joe Ingram impression of Will Kassouf from the podcast with Polk? Would love to see his reaction. We kind of did a little bit earlier. So, you got any impressions, Will? You've been working on any impressions over there?
No, you can do that impression, Joe. Don't try and change subject.
No, I don't want it. I don't want to do any impression. I can't do it when I'm talking to you. You're much better at you than I can't. I talk like I have like an Asian French, English, American accent when I try to talk like you.
You go for it, man. Go for it. You've only done once. You've only done it once with Doug. That's it.
Oh man,
Doug Pop. You did an impression.
Fuck. All right.
But you got to use one of my lines. You can't use one of your. You got to use one.
Listen, I'm in for the min to get the max. Mom, I don't know, man. I don't got it right now, man. I don't got it. I'm on the spot. Talk again. Say something again.
I'm in for the min to get the max.
I'm in for the min to get the max.
No shame in passing.
No shame in passing.
I've got the absolute coconuts.
I've got the absolute coconuts.
You want to gamble? Let's gamble with the nuts. I'm all in.
You want to gamble? Let's gamble with the nuts. I'm all in. I got aces.
Booyah.
Booyah. Shit, that was
That's it. Marvelous, Joe. Marvelous.
Marvelous. Cool. Hey, marvelous. All right, I'm working.
You're improving. You're improving.
Let me wait. Do I got it?
It's like that.
I can't do it. No. I'm trying, guys. I'm fucking trying, man. Come on, faster. I cannot talk faster than in the William Kassouf accent quite yet. So, D-Boy Floyd says, Kassoufing, using the power of speech to create a barrier between professional level thinking and emotional level thinking.
That's not bad. I like that.
Jesus.
Kassoufing. There we go.
What are you, a dictionary creator, D-Boy Floyd? What is this, man? Guys, let's get some questions from the chat, man. Let me give some. Let me find some good ones out there, man. Let me see what we got. Andrew says that was literally Asian. I told you, I don't know. I'm not a professional accent. I'm learning. I'm trying. And no, Rustrox, he says stick to yourself. Nah, man, you got to step outside your comfort zone. If we've learned anything from Will, it's that you got to step outside your comfort zone sometimes, and you gotta take a chance, man. You gotta take a chance. You gotta fight for your rights.
That's it. Life's a gamble. You gotta take a gamble at some point.
Exactly, man. No gamble, no future. Gus says, I don't believe Kassouf has a girlfriend. Can we get a receipt? She's made an appearance in the first podcast. She's very nice, very beautiful girl. And we saw her briefly in the reflection, but does she make an appearance this time too?
She can do. She's left the room for now, but I can get her back in if the fans are so desperate.
You know, listen, man, they don't get to see girls very often. Will, all right, give them some slack here, okay? Don't be too mean to them. You don't want to lose the fans. Kush Strain said, "Oh, great question. Does he play the great game of Pot Limit Omaha?" That's a great question, Will.
I do, yeah. I've been spinning up in the 1-2 cash games recently. I've learned it in the last year or so. I've been playing 1-2 PLO and and 2-5 PLO as well. And occasionally when I've had a spin up, go sit in the 5-10 PLO like a boss.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Wait, you got any questions? What's something that you might be trying to work at that you might be strong? I'll give you some. I'll answer any PLO question you got right now if you got one that comes to mind.
Well, the philosophy I use there is literally in for the min to get the max. And the terminology that you heard from the ESPN coverage, I think it was early on day 4, one of the first clips you saw me in the World Series main event is gambling with the nuts, with the redraw to the monkey nuts, the river's absolute coconuts. Nuts, monkey nuts, coconuts. Nut. So I use that exact same theory in Omaha because effectively you drawn to the nuts. It's constantly drawn to the nuts game. So if I'm going to be sitting in Omaha, I'm generally going to be sitting short stack. I'm going to be sitting with like 100 bigs or less. Okay. Because if I'm going to lose, it's going to go involved in one pot. And if I lose, I'm going to lose the minimum. I can always reload. And if I'm going to win, I'm going to split up. I'm going to double up, treble up. Because a few of the big stacks are just going to pay me off with whatever because I'm going to be so short. And then I can spin up in that regard. So what I've been doing like 1-2 PLO is sitting with like the minimum 150, 200 quid, spinning up to like 500-600, getting quarters, sitting at 2-5, sitting short there, spinning up to 1K, going then into the 5-10 Omaha, sitting with like 500 quid in a 5-10 Omaha when people are sitting there with like 10K. Wait. We asked you the question, Will, are you short stacking? You told us no. Now you're buying in for 500 at the 5-10 table? Like a boss. Listen.
That ain't like a fucking boss. Nothing about this. No, that ain't not like a listen, chat. Now, Will, you know I'm on your side, buddy, but that ain't like a fucking winning a tournament like a boss. Satelliting into a 10K high roller like a boss. All right.
This is called spinning up, Joey. This is called spinning up like a boss.
Buying in 50 big blinds, no, that's not a boss. No, that's not a boss move.
But we're hashtag spinning up like a boss. That's the difference. But Omaha's different to Hold'em. I wouldn't advocate short stacking.
I'm not advocating short stacking. Listen, I'm not going to let you advocate for the great game of Pot Limit Omaha short stacking during the podcast, man. That's my game, man. I can't. Not gonna let you do it.
Listen, I like to be in for the min to get the max. You could be in for the max to get the min, but
I'm not in for the max to get the max. I'm in for 100 fucking big blinds or more, man. I'm not.
Are you sure, geezer? I reckon you're in for the max to get the min. You're happy.
You're ruining the great game. It's a disrespectful to the game, Will.
That's it. Okay, you'll be glad to have me on your table in PLO. Then,
no, right? I don't want the short stacker at the table. No, I want a guy.
I want to get your table, then, Joey. Look, sounds like you're going to go on tilt before I even sit down.
No,
he's Steve already before I sat down. Yeah, Will Kassouf, 5-10 Omaha. Here he is, $500.
Man, and you're going to be sold in like a little knit too, man. Oh no. Man,
but you know, I'm gonna keep with my strategy, my philosophy, in for the min to get the max. Why would I sit with like 10K in a PLO game?
Okay, Will, let me back up. Okay, 5-10 blinds. We don't need 10K. That's an extreme. 1K. Well, 1K, 1,000.
Yeah, I've done that before, but when I spun up from like 200 quid from the 1-2 and 2-5, yeah, that's it.
$1. Well, just promise me, Will, you're gonna buy in for 100 big blinds.
Generally speaking, yeah, this is what I do. But I don't play 5-10 PLO. This is just like a one-off or two-off time that I've done it, and I sat there with 500 quid and spun it up to like 2,800 in one session.
All right, so it was like a one-time thing. Okay, I get that. Not used to the game. It's obviously a great game. A lot of cards, a lot of things happening. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not okay.
Yeah, no, I don't play 5-10. No. It sticks to 1-2 and sit with like 200 quid and spin out.
Okay,
that's it.
Let me count and breathe.
You gotta breathe, man. You gotta breathe. But we both gonna sit down on a PLO game together, Joe. Whatever the stakes, I'll sit at your table. Don't worry. I'll give you the speed.
Whatever the stakes.
That's it. Let's go. Let's go, Pappy. Bring it.
Wait. Let me. It's a confirmed thing. So I come up to you at the series and I say, "Hey, Will, we got a game running at the RA right now. We're gonna play. You're in."
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, not whatever the stakes. Okay.
Well, it depends if I'm washing my hair or I've got something better to do. You know.
I mean, your hair's beautiful. I can understand you need to take care of that bad boy.
Listen, no, I need a haircut, to be fair. I do need a haircut. This is longer, but because it's quite cold right now here, especially in the UK, I'm keeping it longer. But I'll definitely have a haircut if I go to the Bahamas.
Are you gonna? You should go to the Bahamas, man. How did you not go to the Bahamas? You've been there before for the PCA thing?
I've not been for PCA, no.
Man, I'd love to play you as a PLO. That'd be some great stuff, man.
Are you gonna be there in Bahamas?
I might go. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to go, but the thing is, Will, last time I get out of line, man. Like I can't help it. I got an addiction to being out of line, Will. I just do. You know, I want to go there. I want to be marvelous. I want to be like a boss, but then before you know it, you end up naked in the ocean, Will. It just happens, man. I don't know. It really happens, man. I'm not happy about it, man. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying it happens. You know?
Okay, shit happens. YOLO, Joey.
No, stop it, YOLO.
YOLO. If you go, I go.
Why isn't YOLO one of your words? When someone's trying to make a call, you'd be like, YOLO.
Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't go as far and say you show, I'll show. But if you go, I'll go. How's that?
Wait a sec. Are you sure? So if I go naked in the ocean at PCA, you're gonna come too?
This is exactly what I didn't say, Joey. I said if you show. I didn't say if you show, I show. I said if you go, I'll go. As in you go to Bahamas, I'll go Bahamas. How's that?
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were. It was a skinny. I mean, okay.
Nah, no nakedness, no ocean bullshit. Just go to the Bahamas. If you're in, I'm in.
Okay. Man, that's gonna be out of line, Will. Come on. You play basketball? They got a basketball court there.
I think you'll beat me at basketball. I think you got the height advantage.
I got them up. You see those arms, kid? Let me see what kind of arms you're working with over there.
That's it. Hey, Pappy.
I can't see it, man. You look like you got some. You might have some biceps under those. Will, you've been working out too. You've been getting your lift on.
I feel, mate. I feel, yeah. Big Popeye arms.
I like it, man. Hitting the gym over there, putting your swole on, lifting weights. You ain't on that. You ain't on those extra
trophies. That's what we're doing. Lifting trophies. This is heavy shit every day. You know, it's hard work.
Did your arm hurt?
You don't realize how hard this is. You should ask people who've actually lifted the trophy. People like
don't strain yourself
lifting this trophy. People like Alan McBride lifting this trophy and having a Kodak moment. They know how heavy it is.
God damn.
Hard work. This is hard work. My arm's tired already.
Damn, man. You okay? You need a massage or something like that? You gotta call on your girl, man. You need to get a massage on that right arm. It's probably sore from lifting that trophy so much, man.
Yeah, I could do with a rub down right now, definitely.
Bang, bang, man. Let me take a couple more questions from the chat.
Bang, bang.
Let me see. I can use a rub down right now. Listen, well, you're not the only one, man. What were those questions? Let's see. Edward Joiners says, say hi to Will. I just got a photo with him in Cardiff. He bought a drink for everyone. What a legend, baby. Nice work, Will.
That's it. No worries. Of course.
Nice work. Top 10 TV. How do the people close to him? I don't know what kind of wording this is, bro. You need to like to translate. I got love for you, Top 10 TV. How the people close to him reacted when he dropped being a lawyer to pursue the poker dream.
Say it again.
Listen, man, I'm just reading what's on there. How did the people close to you react when you dropped becoming a lawyer to pursue the poker dream?
They're thinking, wow, it's an immense. What a career move. What a sicko to go from doing what he did as like a normal day-to-day job to doing what he actually loves, which is like playing poker, playing cards for a living. And yeah, it's been pretty sick transition, but people can see the direct correlation between the two. kind of professions, or the two kind of industries, if you like, in terms of legal profession, in terms of what you do as a lawyer and what you practice every day, and in terms of what you do on the poker table and the way he conducts himself and the way he plays his game. So it's not necessarily to say that, oh, being a lawyer, you'll automatically be a good poker player, but I think people can see it in terms of how I describe the kind of like correlation between the two, and how I brought what I know and my what I learned in the legal profession over to the poker table and transferred those skills over in terms of my gameplay. So they could see from what I described to you earlier in terms of how you are in the court of law and you're trying to outwit your opponent, try and outspeech them, if you like, trying to convince the judge over your opponent that they class not guilty. So you're constantly kind of getting into your opponent's mind and trying to convince them that you have something that you don't, and vice versa. So it's all mind games, the whole psychological aspect. And this is what I enjoy more about the game rather than the gamble and the winning coin flips, even though that's part of the game. I like to get into my opponent's mind, and I think I'm a better post-flop player than I am pre-flop. I think pre-flop, anyone could like 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet, chuck all their chips in the middle. Anyone could do that, but I think it takes a better player to play the psychological game post-flop, representing so many cards like on the flop, turn, and river, getting into your opponent's mind, doing speech play effectively to convince someone that you have a holding that you don't, to convince them you got the nuts when you don't, and vice versa. That's where the skill comes in, if you like, and that's where you know, my game comes in, and that's a big part of my game. So I think a lot of people look up to me in terms of what he's achieved in terms of being a lawyer and having all these kind of skills, the analytical skills, if you like, to analyze all the information you have to get the desired result and bring that across to the poker table, to analyze all the information you have on the poker table in terms of what your opponent's doing, the chips in the pot odds, the cards are out there, the stacks that are involved, where you are in the tournament, whereas you know, before the bubble, after the bubble, and near the final table, where you're playing to ladder up. All these kind of factors are playing on your mind and trying to get into your opponent's mind and trying to think what they're thinking you think they have on that level. So it's quite complex in that regard, but I see it as a challenge, and I'm always been up for a challenge. I have that on my Twitter profile, that fun-loving kind of a guy, always chilled out, always up for a challenge and a good laugh. So I see it as a challenge for me, like poker, getting through, especially in tournament poker, getting through a whole field of players from all walks of life, players, different backgrounds, different styles of play that you've never met before, that you may never have seen before. And you've got to adapt and be versatile on the poker table. Every time you get moved from the table on the big blind, or every time your table breaks, you're going to get moved to another table with another bunch of 8 or 9 players that you've never played with before, that you've never met before. And you have to be quick to adapt to their style of play and who's doing what on the table, and have your wits about you. You have to be smart about it and know what's going on around you, because it's so easy. One lapse of concentration, one pot that goes wrong, or one mistake, that could be the end of your tournament. So that's what's so crucial. So I think a lot of people love in terms of what I've done, and so many people have been commenting, hey, I'm a lawyer as well, and I look up to you. I play a bit of poker recreation. I love what you did at the World Series. You were above everyone else in terms of what you were doing. You were thinking 10 times more than them. I think Patrick Leonard actually quoted that on Twitter, saying he was thinking 10 times more than all the other players on day 7 of the main event. So it just goes to show, yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into my game. I don't just play ABC. There's a lot of things I'm thinking about at the table, rather than just the actual hands that get dealt and the actual players on the table. It's more in depth in terms of what I do at the table, what I say and do. So yeah, try to keep it fun, as fun as possible and entertaining as possible in what I say I do. So I come across as this guy who doesn't know what he's doing, having a laugh and then joke at the table. He's there just for a bit of fun, but deep down I know what I'm doing. But I come across as the guy who, he's bluffing all the time, he's talking too much, he can't have it. But generally when my chips go in, then I've got it. So it's all about mixing it up, confusing your opponent, convincing that you have it when you don't, and vice versa, and mixing up all the time. You can't make the same bet and give the same speech when you got it and give the same speech when you're bluffing, because a good player will pick up on that. So you constantly got to mix it up. So sometimes I'm even confusing myself as to whether I'm actually value betting or bluffing in certain coups, because I have to change it all the time against different opponents in different situations. So it makes it interesting for me as well. So I always see it as a challenge, and it's great to like come from where I have to get the achievements that I have, and to come this far, and to be an inspiration has been phenomenal. Yeah.
I got to say, I didn't expect that answer from that question.
There you go. That's the answer. You heard that. You don't want me to repeat the answer, right, Joey?
I don't know how you repeat the. I feel like when you give the answer, right, it starts off this path, and then you never know where the path's gonna go, man. It's like it might go that way, it might circle back around. Sometimes it goes twice. It's like, I don't know. It's always an adventure, man. I always get. I don't know. It's crazy. I like it. And when I get a short answer, I'm disappointed. I am. I get on. I'm like, I expected to hear something, and I just ask a question. I get like 10 words. I'm like, I feel cheated, man. I feel like I need some more fucking words out of that answer. So. Now,
see, I'm not here to rob you, Joey. I'd never rob you.
You never rob me? You sure?
You want an answer? I'll give you an answer with a capital A. You know it.
Kid, you need to be a politician, man. You planning to run for any office anytime soon?
So, me, that's what
kidding.
people they're putting me on and tweets and that, and putting me and Donald Trump on the same tweet, saying these two are like showing the coconuts. These two are the best two things that happened in 2016, and giving me compliments in that regard. Yeah, it's hilarious. I just take it. So it's all good fun, good banter.
Okay, so is that a compliment to you, or is that? I mean, I guess he's president, but when someone says you're like Donald Trump, is that a compliment to you, or is that an insult to you?
Well, they haven't said I'm like him. I think they both said that these two guys have shown they've got the coconuts. These two guys are the best things to have come out of 2016. They haven't said that he's like me or I'm like him in that regard. I wouldn't say that I'm like him in that regard. But almost, I think they're trying to say almost like the people's champion, the people's favorite. May not necessarily be the best player in the world, may not necessarily be the best president-elect in the world, but they've been voted for as the people's champion. They're the ones representing the masses, the recreational players, if you like. He's the one representing the voters in the US. So when they see that and they see the correlation, they think these two are the ones who had the coconuts. They had the balls to step up against all the odds, and they've come out victorious in terms of what they've done in their respective fields. So that's what's I think what they're trying to get at, and I think is a good message to put across.
I think Will might need to research his American political scene a little bit more before he starts saying things about Trump.
That's it. We're not
Trump ain't like. I mean, sure, he got voted. I mean, I don't know if he's the people's champ. I mean, now especially after some of these things have been happening recently.
Well, you go on the votes. Yeah, all right. You got to go on the votes in terms of what happened. As much as I hate to admit it, you got to go on the votes in terms of Brexit and what happened. You know, more people, even though it's a very slim majority, I think it's like 51.9% or something like that. It's like 52 to 48% roughly in terms of voted for Brexit than didn't. So yeah, so it just goes to show the power of the people has come through this year. And same with the Trump election. Who would have thought?
Power of the fucking people's correct, man. Guys, let me take one more question here, man. We're gonna wrap things up. I'm trying to keep. I don't know. I'm trying this podcast strategy where I try not to keep the fucking things so long, but then they just go long and. I don't know, man. The coaches, man. You got any coaches? You got any coaches, Will?
I don't have any coaches myself. No, I coach myself. That's it. I don't need any coaches. So I'll play my game my way. Even if I were to make November 9, I don't think I'll have a mentor or coach. If I think I've done well to get that far, even going through like 7 days of poker to make the day 7 or even make November 9, hopefully, touch wood, I can do that. Next year, I don't think I'll have any coach. I think if I've done well enough to get that far, I'm not trying to big myself up or having a big ego or being arrogant or cocky about it. But I think if I've done well enough to get that far, playing my game my way, why do I now need a coach just to coach me over the final line, just to get me through the last 8 players on the main event when I got through the best part of 7,000 players, playing my game my way without any coaching whatsoever? So I think if I did something and it was working for me, I'd continue to do it. I'd continue to improve my game. By myself. I learned by myself. I'd do it the hard way, like I have done since the start of my poker career. Just learned the hard way. Never read any books, tutorials, seminars, or what have you online, or poker theories. I just did it the hard way and actually playing physically myself more and more games, cash games, tournaments, until obviously I was a losing player at the beginning, learning the game. But come out, from where I started and it's come out to reach where I am now. Yeah, it's a great achievement. It's a good feeling, and to have so many people support me and have the love and support of what I say and do at the poker table and my style of play is fantastic. So I wouldn't change what I do. I'll keep doing what I do. Loads of people are saying, don't ever change your style of playing, what you do. It's great for the game, and it's a breath of fresh air kind of thing. So hopefully we're starting a new kind of waking up the poker world, so to speak. They've had the moneymaker effect. Hopefully this could be the Kassouf effect to get loads of people back into the game, talking in the game, keeping poker fun, end of the day, So it's a sport, if you like. It's a game, if you like. Call it what you want. But when you're playing in a live poker game, it's live poker. It's a social environment. You're there to socialize with like 8, 9 other players for the best part of like 10, 12 hours a day. Just enjoy what you do, regardless whether you're playing recreationally or professionally. Just enjoy what you do when you're playing a game of poker. So that's the bottom line. So hopefully get that message across, and people more getting more involved in the game. People who don't even play poker are getting involved in it after they've seen my YouTube videos, after they've seen the ESPN coverage. They love it. So it's great to get people that aren't normally into the game or play at that level to try and get to that level and want to be a part of something big and make a name for themselves and get a big achievement like I have. So yeah, it's great to see, and long may it continue. I hope we see several hundreds of thousands of players more, and hopefully this starts another poker boom. Yeah, it'll be great.
# make poker fun again. Well,
that's it. Indeed, that's it. That's what I'm all about.
Make poker fun again. That's what I think that's what we're all about, man. We want to make poker fun again.
That's it. Exactly.
This is actually a good question for you.
Whilst winning at the same time, do you know what I mean? Making poker fun, enjoying it, have a laugh and a joke at the table, and winning titles and trophies. That's what the game is all about. That's hashtag.
We want to play to win.
Play to win. That's it. And even if it's not like a boss, people are saying like an end boss. People say I'm like an end boss now. So
all right, stop it. No. Bobby, you can't be a fuking end boss. You get over 6 fucking month time period. Come on, man. End boss means that you're one of the best. You put in the hour, you put in the years, you got the results over a consistent sample.
Yeah.
Let's not get carried away, Will.
That's what we said, like an end boss, not an actual end boss. So this is what we strive to see.
We're not saying that.
Aim high. You got to aim high, John.
I'm not saying like an end boss yet.
You live the dream. I didn't say I'm an end boss yet. I'm definitely not an end boss yet.
2.5 more years. I'll call you like an end boss. All right, I got you. I happily believe me. I would love nothing more to be like a fucking end boss. William Kassouf's in the house today.
Marvelous. I love to hear that.
We can't get ahead of ourselves, okay?
No, but we got to have goals. You got to have ambitions and goals.
You got to visualize it, man.
And this is the target. I'm not saying I'm an end boss now, but this is the target.
Again, like an end boss. Say it again. Visualize it. Mean it.
That's it. Like an end boss.
You got to say it. Like an end boss.
End boss.
Like an end boss.
That's what I said.
I know you keep saying it to yourself until it happens, man. Exactly. That's what you guys got to do out there. Say it to yourselves, man. You want to get that girl? I'm going to get that girl. I'm going to get that girl. I'm going to win that tournament. And sure, it might not work.
That's it.
But you keep working. You keep the main goal. You keep it on your mind, man.
Think big, dream big, live the dream.
Think big, live big,
live the dream.
Live the dream, man. Oh, amen, man. I got to get one last shout out to my buddy Tim Stone and my buddy Big Sigia. I think you guys must be in Poland if you're together. What's going on, boys? Much love. Hope you guys are enjoying. I guess, Tim, you probably went to Poland for New Year's Eve if that's the case. So, but yeah, man. Will, I'm hesitant to say this, but because I don't know, this could go a lot of directions on the racetrack. Give the people some last words, my friend, to go out on.
Well, I think I just repeat what I just said, you know. Think big, dream big, live the dream. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Just be yourselves at the poker table. Have your own style of playing. Enjoy it for what it is, whatever level you're playing at, recreational, pro. Just play the game. Enjoy it for what it is. Try and go deeper and further in every tournament you play. Improve your game, and the results will follow. Hopefully, you'll be lifting titles and trophies. Hopefully, there's more to come from me. I'd love to see more of the recreational players that I know in the UK and around the world coming up through the ranks, beating some of the top pros, getting to final tables, seeing me as an inspiration, and me seeing them and railing them on the final table. I'd love to be there for them as they have been for me. I think it's a great time in poker, keeping poker fun, getting more of the recreational players involved in the game, coming up through the ranks and competing at the highest level, getting them qualified into bigger tournaments, satellites into like high rollers, getting them into like the World Series main event, competing on the world's biggest stage and making a name for themselves. So I proved that at Canada. I proved that their poker dream is still alive. Hopefully onwards and upwards from here, not just for myself, but hundreds and thousands of people around the world hopefully see me as an inspiration and want to emulate in my success and what I've done and what I've achieved. And I hope to see that myself. I'd love to see that myself in my lifetime, to see loads of players coming up through the ranks and me supporting them and rating them through the tough times and what they've been through, and hear their poker stories from when they started at the bottom to get to the level where they're at in terms of making final tables and winning titles and trophies. And that's what the poker game's all about for me, the dream and living the dream, and just enjoying life to the max. That's it. YOLO. Enjoy it. Booyah.
Amen. Amen. Glory, glory, glory. Glory be to the podcast. Guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Be back tomorrow afternoon with the founder of the first ever real money poker site. It's going to be a slightly different conversation than it was with Will today. We're going to be joined by a man named Randy Bloomer, founded Planet Poker back in 1998. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Next week, we'll be doing podcasts with a couple of the Team Perkins qualifiers. We gave away a bunch of Twitch packages to a bunch of different people that are going to be at the PCA. We're going to be doing a couple special mini episodes with those guys as well. Limitless, high stakes, no home player on PokerStars next week as well too. And I don't know if Kate Hall or Kevin Martin will be next week. Might be the week after. And yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot of I might have some other videos coming out too. Might have a video where never mind. I can't actually tell you what I'm gonna do in that video, man. It's out of line. But that's it. We're out of here. Will, much love. Thanks for tuning in. Guys in the chat, thanks for all the questions, all the comments. You can find it on iTunes, search Poker Life. It'll be up in like 2 weeks. And Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. Stay alive on New Year's, guys. Don't mix bad things together. Don't get out of line. Don't go to a different country if someone invites you to a different country. And Will, last advice for someone on New Year's?
Don't try and be a celebrity in 2016 because it's been a record year for celebrity deaths. So don't try to be a hero. Be yourself till the end of 2016. See you into the new year. And I hope to see you on the poker tables in 2017.
Amen. Like a boss, man. That's it.
That's it.